could have made this video a little while ago, but I just wanted to see how the news was ramping up about Bruno Guimarães to Arsenal. See how I felt about it. Also didn't have a bit of time as well to fully make a good video about it, but here we are. There's reports coming out last week a bit from the ITK saying that Arsenal had verbally bid for Bruno Guimarães, that he's a player that Arsenal are going for, Berta wants him, etc, etc, etc. Then it started to kind of come out from everywhere. Fabrizio, David Ornstein, the Hand of Arsenal, whoever you want to trust, follow, read about, that said that Arsenal had verbally, through intermediaries, bid 55 million or so to Newcastle for Bruno Guimarães, the 28-year-old, 29 in, thinking about October. 2 years left on his deal. Rejected, of course. Obviously, Newcastle, given the market of players and midfielders, and obviously his status, I'm not going to sell him for that much. But clearly, there was reports and obviously news that Arsenal had been given positive news, maybe from Bruno Guimarães' camp, that Arsenal will be interested in the move. So I just want to give my reaction to the news. Obviously, I'm not going to really go through the tweets because a lot of them are not outdated, but a lot of them are a bit old. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about the news, but just give my thoughts on the player and give my thoughts on maybe where the deal is at now, and I guess the type of summer I'm assuming Arsenal are going for, the way it's looking. So make sure you guys are hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and you guys are comment down below. Remember, I'm on the road to 1,300 subs, so if you haven't, please hit that subscribe button. But yeah, quickly on Bruno Guimarães, 28-year-old Brazilian international, one of those all-purpose midfielders, someone that I really like. Can play as a 6, can play as an 8. I'm not saying can play as a 10, but has tendencies to play in the pockets. Give good passes, score goals. You saw the way he's been looking like for Brazil at this World Cup, very, very good. And as for Newcastle, I think he's played 4 or 5 seasons in the Premier League since he signed from Lyon. I think Arsenal were actually interested in Bruno Guimarães before he went to before he went to Newcastle. I think there was something about that in his announcement video with Newcastle. But yeah, he's one of those players that he's a polarizing player. Like when he doesn't play for you, he's a cunt. He's a bastard. He's one of those guys that you want to foul, 2-foot challenge. I remember when he swung back his arm against Jorginho, a couple of challenges, trying to get players sent off, all that stuff. He's one of those guys. But when he plays for you, you love him. Die for the badge, plays with passion, has that nastiness, shithouse about him, but also elite quality. And I think it's a credit to some of those players that have elite quality, technical quality, ability, football brain, that also have that passion, that shithousery, that kind of that dog and bastard about them. He's got all of that, and I think playing for Newcastle for 4 years, obviously Newcastle finished, I think it was about 15th last season or 14th. No Champions League football. Obviously he's had 2 Champions League campaigns with them, but no Champions League football. Was part of their first trophy. Is it their history? If it is their history, it's crazy. But yeah, first trophy, the Carabao Cup win. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure a player like him is looking for a move. 28, gonna be 29 soon. Probably has maybe 4 or 5 years at this top level in his prime years. Would want to play for a team that's going for major honours, Champions League, Premier League, and playing with players of his level and his ilk. Newcastle very recently last season sold Isak, they sold Anderson, this year they sold Anthony Gordon. Now Tonali's looking to get a move out of there. He was linked to Arsenal as well from January. Obviously now has been looked to move to Man City and Man United, and Spurs look to have really been ramping up their interest in trying to get Tonali as well. So all his running mates are going to be gone next season. Obviously we'll see what Newcastle do. They have money, they will invest, but they invested last season and the squad got worse and they finished worse. So I'm pretty sure he wants to leave. I'm pretty sure also he doesn't want to leave in a toxic way like how Isak did or anything, where the fans are hating him, because he's kind of like a fan favourite, cult hero. But at the same time, he's got to think about his own career. Arsenal know this. Berta all knows this. And, we saw interest in Bouaddi, we saw interest in Mateus Fernandes, we saw interest in Alex Scott, we saw interest in Kone from Roma, the one that plays for France currently. And now Bruno Guimarães is another one. Tonali also a name. And I think Berta's doing his due diligence as he normally does, surfing around, talking to agents, talking to clubs, middlemen, trying to figure out what's the conditions of the deal, what's the maximum minimum to bid, all that kind of stuff, and he's working. I really like a player. I think out of all the midfield options, Bouaddi and Bruno Guimarães would be 2 players I definitely would want. Bouaddi for more the long-term longevity point of view, because he's only 18, 19. Also can have him for at least the next 10 years, and he will only get better. His price will be decent. Bruno Guimarães, because he has that experience, he'll come in as one of the older players in the team, given that we might lose a player like Norgard and Kepa and Trossard and all these kind of players, senior players that have been there for a long time, Ben White, in and out of the team. And then you bring in a guy who's experienced, plug and play, probably comes in as a starter for me next to Declan Rice. Can use him in any role. Can use him next to Declan Rice. Can use him with Zubamendi. Can use him with Lewis Skelly. Can use him as a 6. You can use him as an 8, as a more advanced position depending on the game and the style. He has the intangibles to create. He has a great pass on him. He has a great shot on him. He has a great timing for entering the box late. And he has that passion, want the will to want to win. And again, when you're playing that, he's only played at Lyon, playing at Newcastle is like a step. You keep going up the steps, so you have that hunger. I think I have an appreciation for players that haven't played at that top level. There's an appreciation for the top level players because they come in with the expectation, with the attitude, with the confidence, with the arrogance, and with that ability to take you guys up a level. But there's also something about those players coming from a league below or a team a level below that still have that technical quality or ability to be like world class, and they come in to that group. They still have that hunger, that nature of coming to learn, and do you know what I mean? They bring their own source and their own confidence, but they also have that grit to want to fight and make things happen. So I would really want him. I would hope Arsenal don't, if they're gonna go for him, 65 million to me should be the max. They'd be trying to get a deal around. I'll take 5 million add-ons. I think 2 years left in this deal, with no Newcastle need to sell, even though they already sold Gordon for good money as well. I'm pretty sure they still need to sell with no Champions League, no Europe at all, the money that they've spent. And I think he comes in and really elevates our squad, elevates our midfield in many areas, defensively, aggressively off the ball. Have another player like Rice that can really crunch and tackle on the ball, build up, can be a metronome in the spaces, can be very technical, to receive the ball back to goal turn, and can play, incisive passes, stuff that I just need. So I'll be all for it. We'll be watching the space to see what happens, because obviously now we've been linked with Bouaddi, we've been linked with Alex Scott, we've been linked with Bruno Guimarães now. Tonali's name's been flirted around. Who knows what Arsenal would do, and Arsenal may do. Seeing just the news yesterday coming out, just quickly talk about Yan Diamonde giving his allegiance to saying that if he wants to leave Leipzig this year, that he wants to go to PSG. So there's no Liverpool move for them, but obviously that will mean Barcola will be on the move. Will Barcola prefer a move to go to Liverpool, or would Arsenal still be in the mix? Obviously Arsenal still want that player. Morgan Rogers is still there. I don't know what position Morgan Rogers is getting signed for. Obviously I don't think he'll get signed and just be for one position, but I don't know primarily if he's been signed for a 10, if he's been signed for a left wing, or he's just signed as a hybrid version of both. But I would love Barcola, man. Like, I think he will be on the move this summer, but I think now Liverpool looks more like a team that he can come in and play, because they have that urgency to want to go and get him. They have a free position, especially losing Salah as well. Arsenal have a free position, but currently we don't, because we still need to get rid of Trossard or Martinelli or both. But we'll be seeing what happens. Just other news, knockouts have started in the World Cup. Congratulations to Canada, my second home, beating South Africa, last minute goal. Very, very smelly game, I'll be honest with you, but they've got through to the round of 16, first knockout game for round of 32 in World Cup history, and obviously they've won a couple more games today. We'll be watching every single knockout game, and I think this is where the watch alongs will start. And I've been saying I'm going to be doing them, but it's just kind of hard to do them, at the times the games have been, and some of the games. But we've got Brazil, Japan today. Brazil have been my dark horse team to want to win this, and obviously Germany, Paraguay. I'll try and see if I can do at least one of the games. If not, then at least one of the England games or the latter rounds I will be getting there. But it should be interesting. Obviously, good luck to Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Magalhaes, Neymar Jr. As you know, it's my favorite player, and good luck to Kai Havertz as well for Germany. I think they should be getting through against Paraguay anyways, with all due respect to Paraguay. But yeah, man, Bruno Guimarães. Thoughts? Do you want him? Do you not want him? There's talked about Arsenal preparing a second deal, and stuff that Arsenal. Mikel has liked Bruno Guimarães for a long time. Andre Berta wanted to bring him Guimarães alongside Zubamendi last year, so clearly Arsenal have interest in this player, and have had long-term interest in this player, similar to the David Raya, similar to Declan Rice, similar to a couple of targets Arsenal have had, and then they end up going to go and get Zubamendi. So hopefully this is one of those kind of stories. I would really love him. Green light from me, man. But yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been your boy Cape. I'm out. Peace.